Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I was just doing a little project and thought I'd share it with you guys. I have these 6x9 envelopes, so they're pretty big envelopes, but you could use any size envelopes and do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is cut both ends off so that they can be pockets, and you're just cutting like the tiniest sliver, and I know most people know this from other projects that you've seen people do, but just in case you don't, you just cut like the littlest sliver like this off of the top and the bottom. So turn it around and do the same thing to the bottom. And it doesn't have to be any precise amount or anything, you just want that envelope to be able to open like a tube at both ends. And these now open entirely because I've cut the end off, but we'll be putting some glue right here to keep those shut. But right now, just cut both ends off. Just a little sliver off of each one. Okay, so that's all we need right there with the cutter. We're going to put that back, and then I'm going to take my envelope and I'm going to turn it this way so the flap, you know, well, it doesn't really matter, the flap can go on this side. And I'm turning up my pocket, and I want it to be about 6 1/4 inches. I just figured that out from, so I'm just kind of holding this on here to get a good idea of how I want it. And then, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be 6 1/4 because, like I said, you can use any envelope to do this. So it's not a big deal if it's not 6 1/4. That's just the one that I've already done. Is that this one's a little more like 6, so it'll be like a 6 by 6 kind of thing. And then the other one, so this flap is on the outside. This flap is going to be on the inside, and I want to do the same thing again. To about there. Is that even with this one? Yep. So I'm going to hold it there and just do a good score line on that. Okay, so I have one envelope where the flap is on the inside and it's over on the right, folded up. I have one where the flap is on the left hand side and outside, not inside, and it's folded up, so the flap's on the outside. Now I'm going to take this one where the flap is on the outside and cut just like a little wedge out, just so I don't have a lot of bulk. Doesn't have to be a huge, just like a little bit like that. See? And so that will be on the outside. Then I need to get my envelopes glued closed just on those little flaps. You don't want to glue it anywhere else, just those little flaps need to be glued down. So this is actually the inside of the envelope because the main glue flap is over here. So we're just closing our pocket up so that it's like a big tube. And your envelopes might be different. Sometimes they don't pop open like that when you cut the ends off. But so this one is on the outside on the left. Okay, and trust me, I've messed up a few times, so that's why I keep saying the same thing. And just a little glue on these little flaps again to keep my pocket closed. And then this one can be glued shut, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right along, you know, the little glue strip that's already on there. If you want, you can lick it, but I don't love doing that. So that I'm just going to glue closed. Okay. And then you can cover it with all kinds of, you know, paper or decorate it however you want. And then what you're going to do is use this flap. We have one that's on the pocket, and this one can actually be glued down, so I'm going to do that too, just to get away from any confusion. So this is just the bottom of this flap. Don't glue this whole flap down, just the bottom of it. So you have one envelope where the flap is glued entirely down, one envelope where just that bottom half that we cut is glued down. This flap remains free. And then you're just going to make like or what I did, is made a little book out of it. So see, you'll glue this flap down back here eventually, and you'll have like a little book like that. So I have a bunch of paper I've gotten ready, and I've messed up several times, so chances are I'll probably mess up again before we're done. But this is that front one where the it opens this way with the flap on the outside, and I didn't glue this one down yet, which I can do that right now. See, this is my template that I was doing last night, so it's not all the way done. But anyway, that little flap gets glued down. Okay, so then we have this, and I have sewn just some pages in there, like, you know, to make kind of like a journal, a little mini journal. So I just opened up that envelope flap, and I sewed some pages in there, and I did put some washi just to stabilize this, and I kind of did a gusset too. So I scored it at probably 1/4 of an inch, and then did this just because that way when you put your book all the way together, you won't have like the back being too long or longer than the front because of the way these pages are sewn in. So I hope that makes sense. This is the flap of the envelope. I just put 1/4 of an inch gusset in there. So I just scored it right down this line and folded it so that you can see it's kind of like a spine of a book right there. And it's a little bit wonky, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And like I said, I just put some washi on there to keep it from falling apart. And then this is the other end, and it will just, that flap of that envelope, it'll just hook on like that. So we're going to do that right now, but we're going to decorate the pages first. So I have been using Graphic 45's the Fairy Dust collection for this, and I also had some old K & Company paper, which is what this is. I just liked it with it, and like I said in a lot of my previous videos, I'm trying to use up scraps because I just have so many and I really want to get them used up. So if it goes with stuff, I'm using it because I just need to get some of that cut down. It's just gotten out of control. So what I'm going to do now is, this is going to be the front cover. So I have this paper already cut to size, and I inked it already, so I'm just going to glue it down. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. We had some okay weather. Looks like it might snow today, but I don't know. We haven't had really any snow to speak of this year, which is a little weird. But anyway. And I inked all the edges of my envelopes, which you can probably see, just so that we don't have any of that stark white edge showing. And I'm just going to make sure that this matches up. So I'm going to bring my pages out. Try to get all the edges good here. This one doesn't want to do it. Start with that edge instead. Sorry if I get my head in the way. It's hard to see these when you're trying to stand back a little bit. So that one's just going to go on there. And I'm going to bring this edge out so that it meets the edge of that paper. So this is my envelope flap that's going to become the spine of my little book here. I just want to make sure I have that good and tacked down. And I know that washi isn't the perfect match, but I just don't have any with the purples, and you're not really going to see it at all anyway, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Get that glued down good. And then I have this piece that I cut to 2.5 by 6. But just make sure you're measuring your envelope, because, you know, if you use a different type than I got those at Craft Warehouse, and I don't know how many places have a Craft Warehouse or whatever. You may not have that particular size envelope, but this is just an idea to, you know, give you to use envelopes. if you have extras, which oftentimes after Christmas we have extras. And then this is just another piece of fairy dust. This is the K and Company, and you can't even get that paper anymore. It's way old, but I just had a few random pieces left, so I thought it would go perfect with this. Put that right down there. Okay, so that's that one. And then on the inside, I'm going to use this. It's from the Fairy Dust collection. I just want to make sure I got it going the right direction, because mine measures 6 1/4 by 6. So yeah, just want to get that right. So make sure that you do that as well. If you don't go 6 by 6 or 4 by 4 or whatever the envelope size ends up being by the time you fold the pocket in it, just make sure that you're putting your paper in the right direction, which I know is not amazing information, but I mess that up all the time, so. Just try to get real edge to edge. And you could leave, if you liked, like if your envelopes were cream or a color that you want to see, you could cut your paper a little bit smaller so that you could, see the edges of your envelopes. And then these are my papers, and this is the back of the envelope. And this one I did get a little long, so I'm going to have to trim that. My blades here. It's tricky because envelopes and things are not like perfectly square, and so if you cut on your cutter, you're going to have a square piece of paper not going on an unsquare envelope or whatever, so you may have to do some things like this where you trim the edges off. And I'll ink it and stuff so that it'll look a little bit better. Just want to get it as straight as possible, and that's not ideal there. So yeah, it's just always tricky when you're dealing with things that aren't square. Trying to glue square paper on them, it doesn't always work right. So do some inking. And see, I can see there's a little tab of that paper there too that didn't get completely down, so. That's better. Let's ink it again. This little trim right here. It's not going to work with that. Sorry, I got the shakes this morning because I drank a cup of coffee. I should know better than drink a cup of coffee before I do videos, but I can't get going in the morning if I don't need a lot, I just need a cup a day to get thinking and going. So. Alright, that's looking better. Okay, well, that one of course doesn't want to do that. Okay, now we're good. Okay. So now we're going to go to this back side, and I have the back envelope, the paper cut and ready as well. Oh, my little scraps out of the way here. Okay, so we're going to glue this piece on. Hopefully these ones will fit better. was listening to Nick the Booksmith this morning. She has a video she did a couple days ago where she's doing a raggedy and talking about, you know, beginning of the year getting your ducks in order, and how she doesn't have ducks, she has squirrels and they're running all over the freeway. That's kind of the way I've been feeling lately too. It's just, I don't know what that is. And I've been procrastinating. I'm working on that Asian themed journal, which I love it. It's turning out great, and I got such nice Happy Mail from friends, and I've been using all the stuff for that, but for some reason I can't talk myself into sewing the signatures in. I think it's because that's my least favorite part of making journals, is sewing in the signatures. And so I'm just procrastinating. So yeah, I may finish it eventually, but it's kind of one of those, I don't know why I do that to myself things. And this is the back one that will match the front cover. Oh, except you know what I want to do? Don't forget to do this. You want to, if you don't want to see this, or you don't want to have to cover it with another piece of paper, make sure that you glue down your envelope flap at this time before you put your back decorative paper on. Actually surprised I caught myself. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have left to do is the cover, which I'm struggling with trying to figure out what to do with that. And I can't seem to, like I said, talk myself into doing the signatures, so who knows? I don't know why. Kind of just had other things going on, I think, is what that I've wanted to get done. All right, thank you guys so much for, I've had people buying my loaded pockets on Etsy, and that's been awesome. So I have been working on a lot of those, and those are super fun to make. So that's been awesome. I'm really hooked on doing that, those collage pages, I think. So that's probably why I've been procrastinating getting other stuff done. And this uses collage too, which you will see in a few minutes. So yeah, now that that's glued down, we can put on our back page. And you might be able to see better now that there's a little bit of a, you can kind of see that edge of the spine where the little bit of a gusset is. And I just did that so that you don't really have to. You could just leave the natural fold of the envelope there, because you're not, I only used 4 pieces of paper that I cut down. So it's not like a ton, it doesn't have to have a huge gusset, but it just seems to even out the front and the back covers better if you do a gusset in it. But it's really not necessary. You could probably just, you know, stitch it into the flap of the envelope and it would be fine. I feel like these are all upside down that way, so I'm going to turn them this way. Make sure it's all even before I press it. Sorry, I shook my whole table. I have glue fingers. Not that that's anything new. Okay, so now we have this. There's some pages. This, and now we need to do this pocket right here so it's not plain. So I've had this other paper too, and I'm not even sure exactly where I got this. I think it came in a little kit of paper that I got a long time ago, and that's just the leftover one. But it's dragonflies and little mushrooms and stuff, so that one's kind of fun. So I'm using that on this. And I just had an 8x8 pad of the fairy dust, so I didn't have a lot of pages left because I had done another project with it. But if you had a brand new one, you could, you know, cover everything with just the fairy dust paper, and that would be really cool. And this one, I'm going to use this side. I kind of liked the way there's just this little bit of purple over here. And you could decorate it up more with more of the cards and things that come with that graphic 45 paper, or even fussy cut some of the fairies out and use them. So this is mostly scrap paper. I did use, because I'm saving some of my coffee dyed paper, but I used this paper in this journal that I got from Amazon, and it's really cool because it already looks all coffee stained, and there's like 4 different prints and styles, and I will leave the link for that below. Okay, so little journal, looking pretty good. I just have to fix some of these edges here. And I might do a little more ink because I'm seeing a little white, thinking that's probably the envelope edge that I didn't get very well, or the inside edge of the paper. Alright, and I've made all kinds of tags and things. I'm doing my collage thing that I do. So this is just from the paper itself. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to see if this would work on this. Probably not, but we're going to try and see if it'll fit in here. Nope. I kind of had a feeling that wasn't going to work. So I'm just going to lay it flat and cut a little, you know, a half moon kind of thing, just so we know that that's a pocket up there. And this is my old cutting blade. I want to figure out where my center is here, so it's 6, but I just like to find my center point. It's not that big of an issue. You can eyeball it, but that's just what I like to do. Because I probably still won't cut it straight, so I'm just going to do like a little one. I can figure out what I'm doing here. Go down just a little bit. And hopefully it'll cut through all that. I want to go through that back one. I really need to get another cutting blade is what I need to do. That cut through the first one, but it doesn't want to cut through the back one, so I guess I'm going to turn it over, try to line it up. Yeah, I need like a different punch or something. I love that Creative Memories one, but it will not go through anything very thick. It'll only do like really thin sheets of paper, so that just doesn't really help me. Oops. It's so weird. It's like it's not reaching it. Maybe I can just do it with my X-Acto. It'll be easier. I'm just messing up my paper. There we go. That worked better. Did I get them even? No. There we go. That looks better. And let me see, let me make sure I didn't glue my pocket closed. Afraid I might have done that back here on the back one. Okay. Alright, so there's that one. And I will ink that a little bit. we'll do it with the blade this time so that we get a better cut on that. Yes, that works much better. Could be about, yep. Alrighty. So yeah, I made a bunch of tags and things using my collage papers. So this is just the paper that comes with that paper pad. That was a really pretty, like it was their front sheet of the pad, and it's just already gorgeous. I'm going to put a little ink inside of here because it's a little stark. So that's going to go in there. And then my niece had these paper dolls first, and then she gave them to my daughter, and my daughter gave them to me to use for crafting. So he pops out of, you know, his wings and his fairy costume if you want him to. And then he has a crown somewhere. I don't know, I'll find it eventually. But I thought he would look really cool in the front pocket. And then I've got a bunch of other tags. And these I haven't inked or anything yet, because these are the collage ones. You can see all the edges of the paper. I did use a little bit of Once Upon a Springtime, the fairies from that as well, these ones, because they were my scraps. So I think this is Once Upon a Springtime too, or one of their spring, Graphic 45 spring papers. And then I wanted to put these on there. So I thought it might be fun if I presented you guys with a challenge. So if anybody's interested in doing the challenge, I thought if you could make something like a journal type thing, and you can do it however you want, using 2 envelopes. And they can be any size envelopes that you want. So you can use any paper, you can use any tools, any whatever you want. But it just has to be made, the main part of it, out of 2 envelopes. And if you can do a video response to that, and get that video response to me by, let's say, let's do February 20th is when I'll close that challenge. I just want to see, you know, anybody that's interested and wants to do something fun like that. And then also I'm coming up on my 1,000 subscriber time. So thank you guys. You are awesome. I can't believe that I've got that many subscribers. But if I make it to 1,000 subscribers by that time, February 20th, I will be doing a giveaway. And I will give away this little mini journal. I always want to call them albums, you guys. I mean journals. And I'll have a little surprise that'll go along with it. And so it'll be like Happy Mail kind of thing that I'll do along with this little journal. So if you're interested, comment below. You have to be a subscriber. You need to be 18 years of age. And you know, just if you don't do a video response, you can do a picture on Instagram, or you can comment to me on my Etsy store, and I will leave that link below, just so that I know you've done it and I can go look wherever, Instagram or YouTube, or if you want to email me, comment below if you want to just email a picture, and I will put your name in the drawing for this little journal and some Happy Mail. So you have to be 18 years of age as well, because they don't, you know, you can't win if you're not 18 years of age, because you need your own address and everything. So yeah, 18 years of age. Make something using 2 envelopes and be a subscriber. And you need to comment in this video. So you can come back later, you don't have to do it today, but you have to comment in this video so that I can find them and put your names in the drawing for that. Just to make sure that I get everybody. And even if you don't do the challenge part, I'll still put your name in if you comment below. But it would just be fun to see what people come up with using 2 envelopes. So you can use whatever paper you want. I just realized I never glued these pockets down. So you need to glue your pockets down too. And I should have done that already, but I got sidetracked like I always do. Squirrel. So yeah, I just thought that might be kind of fun for 1,000 subscribers. If I get there by then, I'll do the giveaway part. If I don't get there by then we'll wait a little bit longer. But I'm hoping that that'll happen because I'm getting there. So yeah, but the challenge part is just kind of a little fun thing. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do it. Okay, so I'm putting these in, and these tags, and they're all hand collaged. So I made all the collages and then I die cut them. So I'll go here. And then I have another, I did a little pad of paper with the cutoffs from the pages that are in here. So these are just cutoffs from the pages. I folded a piece of the fairy dust paper over and stapled it. So I'm going to put that in the very back pocket back here. I'll go here. I want to be able to see it, so I'm putting it right there. And then I also made this tag. This is an image that I found on Pinterest. It's like a 1920s kind of flapper girl, and she's dressed up as a fairy. And so this is that K & Company paper and a sticker, and this is the Graphic 45 fairy dust. So I'm going to put that in that back pocket because it's a tall tag. And I'll probably do a little more inking inside of there and things like that. I just don't want to hold you guys up forever. But there's lots of tags. I made a lot of tags. So this would be kind of a fun little thing to win and add to your collection, or if you want to give it as a gift to someone, if you know somebody that loves fairies, then you of course can do that as well. And if you have questions, please leave a comment below. You don't have to do the challenge to be in the drawing for the subscriber giveaway. I just think it would be fun if everybody did something fun with an envelope or a couple of envelopes. So this is like one of those playing card journal cards. They were kind of just had script and stuff on the back. I just covered it with some of the Graphic 45 paper, and it has lines for journaling, so that goes in there. And then I also have, this one says follow your dreams note, follow your dreams. And that's just a little piece of ephemera that I had, I'm not even sure where from, but I liked the little follow your dreams, so I think I'm going to put that one in the front. Wants to stick on his feet. I really should wait for this to dry before I stick this stuff in, but of course, you know, I'm not. And then this is a piece of the ephemera that went with the fairy guy. Let me put that there. Oh, there's his crown. I may end up having to glue his crown on because I'm worried that it'll get lost. But I might just like put a little piece of washi at the back just to hold it on, and then whoever receives it can do what they want with it. These are some little tiny tags. And I don't have any of the whole covers like these kind for the little ones. But it's a lot of tags, a lot of things. And I will probably decorate the front of these more. I just am not sure at this exact minute what all I'm going to put on there. But you know, on the day that I do the drawing, I will show it again all complete and done and everything so that you can see what it ends up looking like. So these all come out so different because of the collage paper, so they're just kind of fun. And I did back all of them with some lined paper because I used Reader's Digest pages to make the collages, so, but they've all been covered with you know, lined paper so that you're not having to try to cover that too. I am going to leave them open of ribbon, other than this one has ribbon and this one has a string that it came with. Gretchen at Cat and Paws gave me that tag, this layaway tag, and so thank you, Gretchen, for that. That's awesome. I'm using it. Finally. It's taken me a while. Sometimes I hoard things for a bit before I use them up, but eventually I use it. So that is the little journal out of 2 envelopes and that beautiful paper. So yeah, just and I do have a lot more of the little cards and things, and I think that I will be decorating the front of that and even just putting some of these in there as well because they're so cute and they look cute behind him. Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to like put some washi tape at the back to hold that on him. So anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope you give the challenge a try, but like I said, if you don't, if you comment below in this video only, then I will put you in the drawing to win for the subscriber giveaway. So thank you guys, you're awesome. I can't believe that I'm already close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm just kind of blown away by that. So anyway, hopefully by February 20th, that would be great. So I hope you have a great weekend. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.